What's up, guys? I came all the way to Spain to get my blood cleaned. In this video, I'm going to show you all about this blood cleaning procedure that I traveled halfway around the world to do. I got on a flight to Newark. I got on a flight from Newark to Mallorca. I got into Mallorca last night. I'm jet lagged. I already swam in the ocean. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get a blood cleaning procedure called Inuspheresis. Not to be confused with anuspheresis. It's Inuspheresis. It's nothing with my anus. It's like TPE, but you don't have to worry about getting donor plasma. Come on over here, guys. You gotta see this view where we're staying in Mallorca. This is crazy, right? So while over here, I'm gonna be swimming in the Mediterranean, recovering. But here's the deal. Therapeutic plasma exchange, TPE. You guys may have seen Brian Johnson do this. He got a plasma transfusion from his son, and then he gave his plasma to his dad. The thing that's interesting to me about Inuspheresis is that it doesn't actually have to do an exchange of plasma. It's just a very small filter, like a 10 nanometer filter, that's gonna filter my blood. It takes out inflammatory proteins, it takes out heavy metals, it takes out microplastics, PFAs, volatile organic compounds. It's one of the only things I think that we know of that takes out microplastics from your blood. I'm gonna take you guys through the whole procedure tomorrow when I get my first Inuspheresis blood cleaning. Then I'm gonna have a day off, and then I'm gonna do a second one. And you're actually going to be able to see what comes out of my blood. It's pretty crazy, the photos I've seen. Then we're gonna test it. So I tested all my blood work before I came to Spain, and then I'm gonna test all my blood work again. I'm gonna show you all the pre and post results. Inuspheresis isn't available in the States right now, but it's going to be available in 2026. And I really feel like this is gonna become a commonplace health longevity treatment. There's just so many toxins that we're exposed to in our environment that you can't get rid of, that are hard. PFAs, forever chemicals. These things take a long time to get out of our bodies. Microplastics, there's not a great way to detox these. So I'm curious, am I gonna feel better, nothing, or worse after this blood cleaning procedure? In case you guys didn't know, I'm 48 years old. I've had a lifetime of poor decisions. The last 10, 15 years of my life, I've been eating super freaking clean as I possibly can, but nobody's perfect, right? And I had a lifetime of exposure to microplastics, all these things, and I wanna live a long, healthy life. I wanna stay vital and virile. And so I'm curious about how this blood cleaning procedure is gonna work. I'm gonna go swim in the Mediterranean right now and chill out for the rest of today. Let's go, boom. All right, so we are on the way to the clinic this morning for the first Inuspheresis treatment. It's gonna be interesting. I think that in general, I don't really like biohacking stuff, but I've just realized that there are some toxins that I can't possibly avoid getting exposed to. I've never been able to find meat consistently that's not wrapped in plastic. I generally don't drink out of plastic water bottles. It's been very hard to find water in glass here in Spain, essentially impossible. Went to a store last night, thought I found water in glass, and it was actually like seawater in glass. So it's salt water in glass, which didn't help at all. Anyway, yeah, going to this clinic, gonna get this procedure. It takes 2 to 3 hours. The idea is basically, can we use something like this to remove toxins that otherwise it would take the body a really long time to get rid of? And at the end of the procedure, it's kind of interesting. There is this eluate, this like fluid that they filter from your blood. And the pictures I've seen of this are crazy. They're just this like clear fluid with this dark, manky, horrible looking stuff at the bottom, which is apparently what they filter out of your blood. So I will show you guys what comes out of my blood, and apparently they can test that and tell you sort of like what's going on in your blood, what kind of toxins there are. But obviously we live in this world. We appreciate modern conveniences. We're never going to avoid all this stuff. Oh boy. I don't even know if we can get by here. You guys are in it. This is real. So I went to this clinic in Mallorca. There's clinics all over Europe. And I thought, why not go to Mallorca? Let's get some sun and swim in the Mediterranean while I get this procedure done. This is what the machines look like. They're a little intimidating. Lots of tubes. And here's how it works. The blood comes out of your arm through a 17 gauge needle, generally, goes through a plasma separator into solid blood components and plasma. The plasma then goes through the Inuspheresis filter, the plasma fractionator in this diagram, and the eluate comes out. I'm going to show you guys pictures of the eluate in a moment and my eluate, and then they're both recombined and they go back into your body, which is a very strange sensation. Inuspheresis removes many toxins, including heavy metals. Here you can see that between the first and the second session of Inuspheresis, many people get 2, the amount of heavy metals in the eluate is significantly reduced. So Inuspheresis is very good at getting out metals. So this is me getting the Inuspheresis. I was there for 2.5 hours this session. They're adjusting things, and you can see the blood coming out of my arm, into the machine, into the filter, and then back into my arm, so I didn't die. This is what the eluate bags look like. So you can see the top is just saline, but the bottom is inflammatory proteins. This one is very dark. That is someone with significant inflammation. Mine did not look that dark. And you can see in this one, at the bottom, there's a collection of inflammatory proteins. In this one, there's circulating immune complexes. It looks like pee, but it's not. That's eluate, that's plasma. More circulating immune complexes that are actually collecting in the plasma. This is from someone who had long COVID, and you can see all of this dark colored inflammatory proteins in the eluate at the bottom of the saline. This one is from someone with atherosclerosis, so heart disease. Those are all heavy metals. That is a huge amount of heavy metals that has been removed from this person's body. How wild is that? That's just crazy. This one is from a woman who had a ruptured breast augmentation. So that is silicone that went into her blood from a ruptured breast augmentation. And here I am getting my own blood filtered.
It's such a weird feeling, have all of your blood go out of your vein and then come back in. It's so strange.
Water's a little bit murky today. It's been pretty clear the last few days, but so had the Inuspheresis yesterday. Feel pretty good. Still pretty jet lagged. Spain, it's like 6 hours different than Florida right now, so sleep's been off for sure, but I feel pretty good today. It's just amazing to wake up and get in the ocean like this every morning. They recommended that I take it pretty easy, which is a little bit hard for me, but I'm going to try and go explore and find some other beaches today. I'm going to go try and find some raw milk. Apparently there's a raw milk cheese place on the island. Then I'm going to go explore. It's going to be a pretty mellow day, and then I've got another session of blood cleaning tomorrow. When you do the procedure, you guys saw the bag with the eluate has a bunch of stuff that came out of my body. We're going to analyze that. I took a photo at the end that I'll show you guys, but you could see like at the bottom of the bag, a bunch of stuff. It's a mix of things. There's lipoproteins in there, so there's LDL, there's HDL, 48 years of accumulated junk that kind of comes out. In the filtering process, they have to take out some stuff that you want. So there's I'm a little bit low on albumin today. My liver will make the albumin in a day. They say you're going to be a little tired the next day. Like I said, I feel pretty good. I don't feel bad. I feel like I could swim and explore. I'm not going to go for like a crazy hike or run a marathon today, but also the needles they put in your arms are 17 gauge needles. So they don't always do that. They can do a smaller needle, but then it takes more time. They said that I had like really good veins. I mean, you guys have seen my veins before. I've definitely got some serious veins. So with good veins, it was able to go pretty fast yesterday. There were no problems. I'll keep you guys posted today how I feel, and then we're going to clean the blood again tomorrow. And then we're going to see what was in it and then how I feel sort of long term. Because I think that once you do the procedure, once you get this blood cleaning procedure, there's a little bit of a lull because they took out stuff that you kind of want in your body. And believe me, I am eating extra egg yolks today to get that cholesterol back. I think a lot of people would want a lower LDL, but there are so many benefits to having LDL in the body. It acts as an immune particle. All the lipoproteins are immune particles. LDL serves to move intermediates, precursors all around your body, cholesterol, triglycerides. I am eating a lot of egg yolks today, raw egg yolks, to get my body a lot of cholesterol. My liver can make cholesterol, but I'm going to give my body extra cholesterol to get that LDL back to what I would consider to be healthy levels. There are clear associations with lower levels of LDL and increased susceptibility to infectious disease. So the LDL comes out. Hopefully it gets rid of the worst LDL. All right, guys, I'm going to go get the second Inuspheresis treatment this morning. Let you guys know how it goes. Felt pretty good yesterday, a little bit tired, but not too bad. It's really interesting having those needles in your arm and watching your blood go out of your body and then into a machine that separates the red blood cells from the plasma, and then putting it all back together and having it go back in your body. It's interesting watching your life force go out of you and then come back in, hopefully cleaned of this environmental thing that we live in. I mean, none of us is free from environmental toxins. We all get to live in this world. Mostly it's beautiful. Sometimes it's hard, but yeah, hopefully the blood comes back in a little cleaner and able to fuel us all to do good work in the world. But I'll keep you guys posted how it goes today.
This is what we send to analyze, okay, to the laboratory. But it's easy to see in this part. You can see here different things. The heavy particles, okay, here, and upstairs the low particles, okay, of the fat, LDL, HDL, okay. It's a little bit, it's not too much. The normal color in men is like more yellow. In women is like yellow but more clear.
Okay.
But we can see in your case, it's a little bit, you look like a little bit like red. Not too much, but sometimes means because you have a little bit of inflammation. That's normal. Okay. A lot of people have, some people have quite red. It's not your situation. Here sometimes it's not your case. With people have heavy metals, we can see here a black line. But we will see for sure in the laboratory test. What we have here, for sure, as maybe small particles of heavy metals. I don't think too much, because if we have too much, is what I told you, we have here the black line. Inflammatory cells for sure, cholesterol particles, and sometimes we have as well albumin, but it doesn't matter. The albumin is really important for your body, but when we filter everything, we filter some of albumin, but in your liver, you recover the albumin in 24 hours, 48 hours, okay? Big change of your immune system that is like inflammatory chains. I don't know if you understand, like inflammatory cells of your immune system, we filter as well, okay? But, well, it's normal. That's the good thing to do the Inus. Some people, they do for prevention, but you see like, oh, maybe I have a little bit of heavy metals, I have some inflammatory cells, and that is really good because you do a really good detox. And it's important for improve the longevity.
This gets out microplastics?
Yeah.
From the blood?
Yeah, but here I cannot see because the microplastic are
so small.
And transparent, so I cannot see.
Right.
But we will see in the laboratory. This is the first viewing we do, like, okay, but for be like 100% what you have, we have to do the laboratory analysis.
Interesting.
But yeah, the microplastics as well, for sure.
Interesting, yeah.
But I cannot see, that's the reason I didn't explain you. Okay, but that's good, and it's really good. We did 3 flashes, so perfect, 3 cleanings. When depends. But it depends of the quality of the veins, but you have a really good vein, so we did 3 cleans. So normally it's 2. 3, 4 is really good. It's like a high cleaning.
Okay, good.
So that's amazing.
All right, guys. So the trip to Mallorca is coming to an end. Nice sunset to end it there. I'm feeling good now after this Inuspheresis procedure. It took a few days to kind of get back to normal. They definitely take stuff out that you want in there, but I'm excited to see what they took out. I'm gonna finish this video in a couple of days when I get the results of the eluate. So whatever they filtered out of my blood, I'm gonna tell you guys all about it. And I did blood work before my trip to Mallorca. I'm gonna do some blood work after I get back to the United States, and I'm gonna update you guys on that. So before I came to Mallorca, my heavy metals were pretty low. My lead was the only one that even registered. And we'll see what it is after Inuspheresis. I'm also curious to see what's in the filtrate. Are there heavy metals? There's got to be BPA, BPS, BPE, probably some volatile organic compounds, fumes from engines, airplanes, cars, microplastics. How much was in there? We're going to find out. But for now, signing off from beautiful Spain. If you guys are interested, I'll put a link here. I did another video for the time that I've been in Spain about food in Europe and how the food in Spain is different than what I've seen in the United States. So if you guys want to hear that one, if you want to check it out, if you want to know how to eat like a European and experience the benefits of being in Europe from a food perspective, their food here is definitely better than the States. And I will see you guys in a couple of days when I get the results back from the filtrate on that blood cleaning procedure. All right, guys, I am back in Costa Rica. I have all of the results from my Inuspheresis procedure in Mallorca, and I want to share them with you. It's a little technical, and I was really floored at what was in my body. So I'll say from the outset that my metals were very low. I didn't have a lot of heavy metals, which I expected, but I had a lot of pesticides. So take a look at this. I'm going to show you my actual analysis. I did the most comprehensive analysis. This cost me thousands of dollars to share with you guys this information. But you can see here that I had the four highest analytes that were in my sample. And I'll show you guys again here a picture of my Inuspheresis eluate. So that dark stuff at the bottom, that brown stuff at the bottom, this is all in there. So this is not urine, right? This is filtrate from the plasma. So in my blood were very high levels of multiple pesticides and plastic chemicals. There was very high levels of DDE in my blood, which is not great. Now, DDE is a degradation product of DDT. It's fat soluble, so it's accumulating in fat soluble foods that I'm eating, and it's residue from pesticides that I've eaten over the course of my 48 years. One of the broad questions that I have to answer is this recent exposure or is this 48 years of accumulated toxins in Paul? Thankfully, most of this is out of my system. Remember, I did 2 of these Inuspheresis procedures, and this is all just the eluate from the first procedure. What I will do is in a year, I will go back and do Inuspheresis. I'll do another video and I'll share with you guys what's in the eluate from that. So I'll know whether this is from 48 years of accumulated toxins, or I'm currently being exposed to these things. I eat mostly organic here in Costa Rica and in the States. I do everything I can. I'm in the ocean surfing every day, but I don't think that's a major exposure. It's a huge dilution. I don't have huge exposures that I can think of, but what causes cancer? Why do humans get cancer? Why do humans get dementia? Well, it's insulin resistance, but it's compounds like this that we're never able to get out of our bodies. This is why I think this is such an interesting procedure. I don't love biohacking, but if I can detoxify 48 years of accumulated toxin load in my body and change the course of my health in a way that I wouldn't be able to do with the cleanest diet that I possibly can, that's amazing and it's really cool. I also had gamma hexachlorocyclohexane, which is known as lindane. It's another insecticide, pesticide, drinking water. All my drinking water in Costa Rica is reverse osmosis. I'm not getting it there. I had dichloromethane, solvents, paints, varnishes, plastic industry, adhesives and sprays, trimethylbenzene, solvents, medicines, perfumes, and paints. I had benzene and xylene, and I had polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs. PCBs are the reason you do not eat farm-raised fish. Well, listen, I've eaten a lot of farm-raised fish in my life, not in the last 5 years, but the problem with a lot of these chemicals is they are stored in your fat. I remember in medical school, college, I used to love sushi. Most of the fish you eat at the sushi bar is farm-raised and full of PCBs. I've eaten a lot of farm-raised salmon in my life. This is why I talk about these things, guys, because I've made the same mistakes that many of you may be making, and I want you to benefit from my mistakes and hopefully correct your mistakes sooner than I did. So that's pretty crazy to see all of those essentially organic compounds very high in my sample. Let's talk about the heavy metals. My lead levels went up a little bit. And this is probably because of osmosis. When you do Inuspheresis, you pull everything out of the blood, out of the plasma, and then stuff comes out of the bones. A lot of heavy metals get stored in our bones and our organs. When I did this blood test post Inuspheresis, some might have actually come out of my bones and my organs, and that's what I want into my blood, where I can hopefully clear it by getting enough glutathione and all these things. So I've actually been thinking a lot about glutathione since this Inuspheresis, and I didn't eat whey protein because it was contaminated heavy metals. I don't want more heavy metals, plasticizers, artificial sweeteners, but I love Heart and Soil and I love what they did with their new whey protein. I'm going to plug it because I really believe in it. We tested it 10 ways to Sunday. Look at the COA for this. It's the cleanest, best quality whey protein I've ever seen. The immune proteins are off the charts, and I feel really good with this very clean, high quality, low temperature processed whey protein. So if you're looking for a way to increase your glutathione levels, high cysteine whey protein is a great way to do it. And I've incorporated it into my life. And again, there's nothing else in there. It's all to my standards. So if you have a good whey protein already, awesome. I just wanted to mention that to you guys because I'm in the flow and it makes sense. And I really appreciate, I'm really proud of this product we made at Heart and Soil, and it's relevant to these toxins. So I'm trying to support glutathione to detoxify these heavy metals. My baseline heavy metals, not that high. In fact, very, very low heavy metals because I don't eat fish. I know fish is delicious. If you're eating a lot of fish, you are surely going to have higher levels of heavy metals. A couple of my friends did Inuspheresis also, and they actually let me share their heavy metal levels. So look at these two levels of heavy metals from the eluate for Michael and for Carlos. Their levels of heavy metals in the eluate were far higher than mine. Compare my heavy metals to Carlos and Michael's heavy metals. Now, I'm calling them out a little bit. These are my buddies, so they get it. But like, this is what happens when you eat intentionally. You have low heavy metals. Now, admittedly, I had a ton of pesticides, which hopefully gets better. Inuspheresis has also been studied to remove microplastics. It's one of the only therapies that's been shown to remove microplastics. There are studies coming on this, but that's why I'm so excited about it. So anyway, very cool test. I had a great experience in Spain doing this. I'm going to be doing this every year. There's been a lot of talk about TPE, total plasma exchange. Brian Johnson showed a picture of his plasma on X. I don't like total plasma exchange because you don't know whose plasma you're getting. But what's cool about Inuspheresis, it's taking my plasma out, it's filtering it, and I'm getting my plasma cleaned back in my body. So I think Inuspheresis is going to replace TPE. They're both expensive. I've heard of clinics in the United States charging $10,000 plus per session of total plasma exchange. Inuspheresis, I'll tell you guys this, was a little more than $3,000 per session. So it probably cost me a little more than around $7,000 to do Inuspheresis for the 2 treatments. That's not cheap. I know it's very expensive, but I think for a lot of people, this will be an expense and it'll come down over time. I think it will get cheaper and cheaper in the United States over time, hopefully thousands of dollars cheaper. And I think this will be worth it. You think about how much you spend every year on your car payments, your cell phone. What if there were a procedure like this that could significantly decrease your toxin load and alter the course of your future health? Thousands of dollars is no small expense, but I do a lot of things in my life that are aimed at this, and I think that this is a worthwhile expense. That's my Inuspheresis video. It was a really cool experience. Stay tuned in a year for the next Inuspheresis video, where I will tell you about what it looks like after a year of cleanish blood between now and then. And if you want to check out the video I did in Spain, it's right here on eating in Mallorca, European, Mediterranean food versus US food, which is healthier and why. See you guys in the next video.